as many as you want.
Everyone ready?
Go for it.
Hey, Jared, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Stuff. Sean Strickland's an interesting character, but when it comes to his fight style and stuff, what exactly are you expecting from him on Saturday?
I'm expecting him to, I know he wants to get in my face. He says he wants to go to the center of the octagon, stand there and duke it out. I expect him to, same old Sean Strickland, put the pressure on, try to walk me down, stick his jab in my face, a couple of kicks, maybe get his right hand off. That's what I expect him to try to do. We've got answers for those attempts. And if he doesn't want to do any of that, I'll be more than happy to lead the dance.
In a way, does that not play into your hands, right? Because if you look at his fight with Pereira, Pereira hits hard, you hit hard, there's comparisons there. If he comes forward and plods forward like that, you know right away that you can hit him and potentially knock him out.
No, absolutely. That's the name of the game. You know, when we close the distance, there's an opportunity to get hit. He closes the distance more, what's the word? He does it more often than most, right? He's off. Sometimes may even seem stubborn in his forward pressure, but no, he's a smart fighter. It's not just all forward. You know, he'll move and he avoids punches and stuff like that. So I'm expecting a good challenge out of him.
Obviously, him as a person is kind of unique, right? He was up here for half an hour calling us all sorts of names. Are you expecting him to sort of play around in the cage, maybe talk some shit or anything like that, or does that just not even cross your mind at all?
I mean, if he's doing that, then I'm not doing my job well enough. You know, I'm not putting the pressure on him to make him, you know, focus more on the fight as opposed to focus on talking crap and taking me out of my element. So, no, I think he'll have his hands full, a little full to be talking some crap. And if he is talking crap, good on him.
Is there an opportunity in this fight, right? Because the champions just changed hands and obviously they'll rematch. But if Alex wins that fight and you win this one, you've got as good a claim as any in the division to get a shot at the new champion.
I suppose so. Me, Robert Whittaker is up there, and I'm sure the rematch between Israel and Alex is up there as well. So, yeah, I'm right there. So a good old-fashioned ass whooping Saturday night. Put my name right there in the mix.
Who do you fancy in that rematch between Israel and Alex?
It doesn't matter, right? We see how it went the first time, right? It could be written in the stars that Izzy may never beat him. You know, it could be written in the stars, you know, because I thought he was winning that fight. And I think the same thing happened in their fight in kickboxing. He was scoring and winning, and he got caught, right? So it's the nature of the beast, I guess. There's not much you can do to avoid that sort of thing. Just be a little bit sharper, a little bit better, you know, more evasive maybe. Who knows? How do I see the rematch going? I don't know, man. Who knows how that rematch goes?
Do you believe in that sort of stuff where, like, there are some guys who just have your number and no matter how many times you fight, you won't beat them, or no, you don't?
No, I didn't say it I didn't mean it like that when I said that. I meant like, it's crazy that he lost the fight the way he lost the fight. It's unfortunate. He was winning that fight. You know, a few more minutes, he would have retained the title and wiped the slate, well, essentially cleared the slate of the past and all that bullcrap that we keep bringing up. But no, that's not. I'm not saying that Alex beats Israel every time. By no means. No man beats no man every time. That's not what we do here. You know, especially at this level. We're all good. We're all great. We're all trying to be the best. But it's not a static status that we can have. We're not just the best and now I'm the best forever. It doesn't matter what happens in the future. No, there's ebbs and flow to this. So you're good one day, somebody else is going to be better than you the next.
Okay.
Hey, Jared. What did you think of the Izzy versus Pereira stoppage?
I could see the logic in both rationales, you know. It's a championship fight. Let him go out on this shield on one hand. And on the other hand, you know, he seemed compromised. He was definitely hurt against the fence. All Alex had to do was raise a knee or a shin to really do some lasting damage, right? The ref is there to protect the fighters. It could be taken many different ways. People say that he wasn't defending himself, but Israel doesn't necessarily run with a high and tight guard. You know, he moves his head, he uses head movement and footwork. And that's what he was doing. That's what it seemed like he was doing. He took that shot, that last hook, and then he started to swing his head to the other side. So he was still in motion. I think he was still coherent in the process of recovery. He could have made it through that. Or he could have taken another big shot and, you know, he would have had a longer suspension and maybe some scarring on his brain tissue. But to be honest, I don't pick one option over the other, one opinion over the other. I just understand them both.
I wanted to go back to UFC 276, man. What were the emotions like after that fight?
Well, naturally, disappointment right after the fight. I'd like to say it gets easier, but it doesn't. You know, I went back to the locker room and shed a few tears, and then that was it. You know, received condolences from, you know, fans and friends and family and things like that. But essentially, on the way home from the arena, I was over it. You know, I was ready to move on and get better, learn from the experience. It still sucked. You know, the sting is still there, but I don't necessarily focus on the negative. It's all about the positive.
It seemed like you wanted to get right back to work. Like, you had this fight booked quickly, and you were supposed to fight a couple months ago. Like, were you just ready to kind of like get over that loss and get back to the win column, like, as quick as you can?
Well, a lot of times guys fight for the title, and they're off for a long time. You know, I don't know what they're doing, if they're just enjoying the big payday or what. I don't know. For me, that's not what I want. I don't like long layoffs. 2020, 2021, I had long layoffs due to injuries. Earlier in my career, I had to have layoffs due to work, my other job that I had. So, and I'm no spring chicken. So I'm not getting any younger. Not to say that I'm getting older. I am getting better, but the fact remains that we can't do this forever. So I'm trying to get as much out of it as I can, getting that title, 16 red rubies on that belt, my name branded in history.
What lessons did you take from your loss to Israel?
I tend to wait a bit, you know. I tend to allow my opponents to go first to try to capitalize, counterintuitive or intercepting them. So that's one thing I've been working on, upping my output, you know, increasing my numbers. I have low punch counts in my fights. Not to say that's a bad thing. That's all that I need to get the job done, you know. I'm very accurate in my approach, but I need to do more, especially in that fight against Israel. It's apparent that I needed to do more. So it doesn't take a rocket science to watch that fight and figure that out, especially when I go and relive it and re-experience it all over again. There's so many frustrations that come up and things that I've continued to work on. So, yeah.
Did you see the backlash that he got from the fight? Like, he won the fight, retained his title, but he got backlash and everybody shit on him. Yeah,
everybody shit on him. And I don't think he deserved that, you know. He did exactly what I expected him to do, avoid the danger that I bring and try to lay down his game as best that he can. And I did the exact same thing that I always do, avoid the danger that they bring and shut down the dangers that they have and try to bring the damage to them. So, and that's what you get, you know what I'm saying? When you get two of the best going at it, things like this happen. It ain't going to be two people knocking the shit out of each other for five minute rounds. That's not what the best is. The best doesn't get hit. The best hits and not get hit. And I think we did that. People saw that and the ignorance showed. They don't know, most people don't know what they're looking at. They just want to see carnage, viscera, mayhem, chaos. That's what they thrive off of. But and when I was in there, I felt at peace, a serene sense of power, if you will, so that I can apply to my opponent, if you will. And I'm sure he felt the same. So that's that. That's that artistic side of it, if you will, that creative energy in us that we use to express mixed martial arts. But a lot of people don't recognize it, so they're seething at the jowls and grinding and gritting, and they want to see some blood in action. And I'm sure they'll get satiated with this next fight against Sean Strickland.
And finally, what do you think of his Undertaker walkout?
Fuck, you can't go wrong with the Undertaker, man. I thought it was cool, dude. He had the urn, the hat. He was all stoic. It's it's a lot, right? It's you got to get into character. You got to go. He's a professional. He can do it, right? He did it. He can go out there, have a whole dance number, you know what I'm saying? Do a whole Broadway number and then get in the octagon and win titles. So the Undertaker, you can't go wrong with Undertaker. All the respect. Who doesn't love the Undertaker? You know what I'm saying? So he did it, but I didn't. I sure as hell didn't end up in anybody's grave. That's for damn sure.
That is true. Thanks, man.
Hey, Jared, I just got one for you. What was there frustration with having to push this fight back so far?
I wouldn't say no frustration. No, I don't. I try my best not to have emotional responses unless they're solicited. Like if somebody's trying to break into my house, I'm pissed off and I'm gonna let you know. On top of that, you can't just come in here. I got to protect my things. There's a bunch of things that go into it. But what was that question?
Were you frustrated with having to wait 2 months?
Oh, okay. No, for me, it was just more time to prepare, to build off of the things that we were working on anyway. I don't need an opponent to go to the gym and train to help make myself better. I'm doing that automatically. I don't have fight camps. I have life camp, so I'm always in the gym. I'm always working my ass off. And the only time I really focus on one person specifically is when I get the contracts. When he had his situation, I understood. The dude had infection, had to have surgery. There's nothing I can do about that. And why would I be upset that this unfortunate thing happened to him? Because I know he wants to get in there and fight. I'm sure he wasn't too happy with it himself, but all about the silver lining, all about the positives in all aspects of it, So I was able to train more, further ingrain what we were working on prior to this, for the last booking, and even more.
So you weren't trying to get in there quicker with somebody else. You really wanted to make sure you got this specific fight.
No, I did want to get in there quickly, but for the quick one, we chose Sean Strickland. And then circumstances happened. I wasn't like, I want a new person now. To be honest, at the point, there wasn't nobody. There were people saying, I want to fight him, but they were behind me. And after fighting for the title, I don't want to fight that far back. Strickland is behind me, but he's still up there. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody wants to see him fight. So he was the best option. And that's the fight that I want anyway. I like the things he brings to the octagon. So that's a challenge that I wanted to bring up to myself. The fact that he got pushed back, shit happens. Again, more time for me to prepare to whoop some ass Saturday.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time. If there aren't such things as benefits, does it feel a little bit looser, like lighter, to not have the embedded cameras, the big media thing for pay-per-view, T-Mobile? Is it cool to kind of downshift a little bit, Jared?
Yes. Some days I can do without the media, the questions, the cameras, the microphones, and all that stuff. Some days I can deal with it. If I get asked a whole bunch of repetitive questions, it gets real annoying. I hate getting asked the same questions over and over and over again. So, yeah. So it's essentially every freaking fight week, Everybody's asking me about the title fight and Alex Pereira and naturally Sean Strickland. But some days are better than others. But no sweat off my sack. I guess I'm getting more accustomed to it. It's an ebb and flow. Some days I'm with it, some days not so much.
Thank you, sir. And last for me, about getting accustomed to it, give me a gym and anything for anybody who's been to the mountaintop, came up short. What would you say to them that fought for a title, main evented, and are just beating themselves up right now? And you could just reach out and be like, look, man, this might help a little bit.
Yeah. If you're beating yourself up, then you're not necessarily focusing on learning from whatever took place, right? So all my losses, they suck. And sometimes I cry. Sometimes I'm mad, frustrated, but not for long. I try my very best not to stay in those states of mind for very long. Because unless I'm getting a solution out of it, it is not going to serve me. It's not going to benefit me any. So it's all about, again, after these fights, it's a perfect opportunity to learn from what did I do, what didn't I do, what could I have done, what should I have done, whoulda, coulda, all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas you can come up with. And just reflecting. It's a time for reflection, not a time for self-deprivation or anything like that. Because none of that is going to elevate you to the status that you want to be at. If it's champion, saying, "Oh, I suck. I can't believe I didn't do it." Shit like that doesn't move me closer to a title. So things like, man, if I would have did this, oh, I should have did that. Man, I should have been doing this. We should have thought like this. We should have said something. Any of those, even if they are wrong, that process of evaluating yourself, that self-evaluation for me, is constantly ongoing, especially after these bouts, especially after training practices. So, yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Hey, Jared. Strickland said earlier that he's got no game plan for you. Do you believe that, or do you think he really doesn't have a strategy?
I'm sure his coaches have a strategy. I don't know if he has a strategy. The coaches, try to say some shit to him and hope the best that he does it. But that's typical, right? I expect the same Strickland we've seen the last couple of fights.
Have you ever walked into anything, whether it's in a cage or outside of sports, where you've got no strategy?
Say again?
Have you ever walked into the octagon or a training session where you've got no game plan?
Have I?
Yeah, can you relate to what he's saying at all?
I can relate. I can definitely relate. Most fights, you don't really go into it thinking, okay, A, B, and C, and D, and I'm going to do this in this order, and it's going to go A, C, B, D, and then it's going to go D, C, A, B. No. People do it. People can do it, but my brain don't work like that. That's too much logistics. That's too much paperwork. I'm more into the physical manifestation of things as opposed to the writing it down and jotting it out and things like that, the logistics part of it. I let the brain deal with all that logistics, all that logging this here and logging that there. It just comes out of my being when the time is ready. But yeah, I expect him to come in there and be his natural self. Pressure, the jab, that lead kick, that right hand. I don't know. People telling me they expect him to wrestle. I expect people to wrestle me in general. Once they feel the power or feel the speed and feel that sense of helplessness, I expect people to wrestle. But I don't know. If he tries to wrestle, it'll definitely be to his detriment. So who knows what he's going to do?
This is just something we've been asking a lot of the fighters this morning, but with the holidays coming up, and as an athlete, what's your number one tip for regular people who want to lose the weight they've gained over Christmas?
Well, don't do Christmas, right? Don't do Thanksgiving. These are times where people tap into gluttony, right? If you need some motivation, gluttony, one of the 7 deadly sins, and we glorify it every year, multiple times a year. So gluttony is no good for us, especially now with the poisons they've been putting in the food. I don't know if anybody knows this, but somebody told me, I can't remember who was telling me, but since COVID, they've passed laws where these companies don't have to put everything they're putting in these foods on the labels. And we all know that when COVID happened, a lot of ingredients and products weren't able to be acquired by these companies. So what they do, they went to somebody who had some cheap laboratory-made ingredient and threw it in there, and they don't have to tell us about it. So now we're hearing about all kinds of people coming up with, what's the word? A rise in sicknesses and disease. It could be due to other things. I'm not going to mention it here on the microphone, but, diet is important, and the foods that we are taught to eat, especially here in America, aren't really that good for us. So
we live in an age of like people looking for hacks. Are there any hacks to lose weight?
Hacks?
Yeah.
Fucking do it. Do it. There is no hacks to life. There is no, okay, what's the cheat code for life? I'm like, you either got it or you don't. You're either in the right place or you're not. It's just all those energies combining to create that moment for you. You have control over it. I wouldn't say we all have 100% control over it, but we have some control over it. Like, I get up and I go to the gym and I eat good and I think good. Therefore, I feel good. When I get in the octagon, I plan on performing good. That amongst other things. So there are no easy, there may be some easy hacks but that's subjective, right? That's what you might find easy, I might not find easy. I don't like doing paperwork, but there's some people in here who loves typing and making letters and organizing shit. I hate that. I hate even just spending my brain energy on, okay, bullet point number 1. No, that's not what I like doing. I'd rather, okay, what do we do? How do we do it? All right, let me go do it. All right, let me do it over and over, and let me increase my proficiency that way, not through writing it out and doing all that boring stuff. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys.